Alright, hey guys, and welcome back to another manga first take. So, boy, we really have not been at all getting away from the superhero vibe. I just kind of realized this just before I started this first take, and we actually have another manga volume, that new series that has to deal with pretty much superpowers. So, I'll set the stage for you here because let's just sink ourselves in. We're in modern day Tokyo. And one day, a young, very poor high school girl by the name of Rinka, she's coming home from school and she comes across a flying penguin. That's right, a flying penguin. And so, well, what would you do if you came across well, you'd follow said flying penguin. So, she follows Penguin until she finds some flying fish that are kind of glowy and sparkly. And those fish fly through her body. And the next thing she knows, she wakes up with a superpower. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the base of Tokyo ESP. So as I'm sure a bunch of you have realized by now, ESP pretty much stands for Esper. And so this is a world where, so Rinka, she these flying fish kind of appear, and a penguin also is flying that seems to kind of be a character. And so from what I've gotten from the story so far, if these fish fly through you, they awaken supernatural abilities, basically, i.e. superpowers in people or in other animals, i.e. the penguin and later on a flying hippo. So Rinka is very poor, and I guess you could say she's got like a decent sense of justice about her. She lives just with her dad, and so they are constantly poor and sad, but you know, just that kind of typical poor anime high school girl. So she wakes up one morning, and the power that's been awakened in her, she has the ability to like phase through things. And so she wakes up and she just falls through the floor. So don't ask me why she didn't like fall through the floor earlier when she was in bed. And also her clothes fall off because, you know, this is anime and manga, let's be honest now. And so she also comes in contact with a young man named Kyotaro. Let's just go with that. It's probably wrong. You can go ahead and rage at me below on my horrible pronunciation. I can't even say English words correct, so what am I supposed to do with Japanese ones? But yeah, the color pages in this are really nice, by the way. There's somewhere in here there's more color pages, but I really can't remember where they were. Oh, there they are. So really nice color pages here as well in this release by Vertical Comics, by the way. And so basically, she runs into this guy. He also has had an encounter with these fish, and they have also flown through him, and he has awakened this Esper type ability in him, superpower, whatever you want to call it, and he has the ability to teleport. So it kind of just goes pretty normally. She doesn't really necessarily want these powers, but she doesn't really care either way until you find out her father also hasn't come in contact with these fish, so he has the ability to pull objects toward him. So they kind of go through a phase, you know, that typical phase of I have to learn to control my powers a little bit better, and maybe if I control them, I'll get stronger. So then you kind of, the first bump our heroine meets is she runs into this phantom thief who also obviously has powers. That's basically a lot of how this series goes. You run into someone, they encounter the fish, they have powers too, and they're bad guys, so we gotta fight them. They're basically the mob. Like, mafia is just running the streets of Tokyo. So, obviously, all the bad guys keep getting the Esper powers, and her friend, Kyotaro, did I say that? I don't know. I can't remember. Kyotaro, he has a high sense of justice, so he wants to catch the redheaded girl because she's stealing from a museum. And Rinka kind of gets involved and helps him, and the story sort of evolves from there. And then we have recurring characters, and like I said, you kind of get this mafia feel of more bad guys showing up. And one thing I did kind of enjoy about this, I wasn't expecting it to be like real violent or bloody, but she gets the crap beat out of her pretty good in a fight, and it's really not going well. And you're like, dang, this is serious. These people are a lot more cruel and heartless than I would have imagined them to be. And so she gets beat pretty good. And so that was one thing when I first started reading it, I wasn't really expecting that. So that was just a nice touch. It added a lot more suspense to reading. I was like, whoa, this is serious. They are not, you know, they are not maiming to wound. This is a real fight here. So And that's kind of the basis of Tokyo Esp. So I guess the overall theme has so far been weird. The penguin seems to be around, but he hasn't been explained. The fish haven't really been explained. So there's lots of stuff that's still up in the air and confusing, but I still like it. It's been an interesting story so far. I really like Rinka as a character, and so superpowers in general tend to be pretty cool things. So the verdict is still out on this series in my opinion, but this one thing I can say is this is a wonderful, very nicely done release by Vertical Comics. It's very nice, omnibus format. Super nice, dense, nice pages. So really props to them on releasing a really great edition of this volume, which makes it even more tempting and nice to have. So anyway guys, this has just been a quick first take. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that this helped you decide if you'd like to look into this volume more yourself. So anyway guys, I have been Fiddle Fair, and I'll see you back on the prowl next time. Bye-bye!